Hey guys, just a quick update here on a few things I've been working on. I have a little handy list of a few things I want to show, but so I have actually separated some of the level information into a data table, and I think I've shown some of this before. But the idea here is that you can create all of your levels, and you'll just enter a new row for every level, and all of the information should be on this table. So it should be very easy to edit. So right now I just have 3 levels. The one you're seeing there is Corneria, then you have survival mode, and then you have time attack mode, which are the 2 other ones that I've shown on the video. So the idea here is that you will create a level, you make the level name the key, then you'll put a display name. That's what's going to appear on the save file and on the stage clear screen. You'll select here what is the next level, and this is the actual level name. You can put a screenshot of the level, and you're going to see where that pops up just now, and you're going to have a level music. So before I had this information on the player blueprint, but it just makes it more complicated with logic based on the level. So here all you need to do is you can select the music here, the screenshot, the next level. And you're going to see all this working in just a minute, but I just want to give you an idea of how easy this is. And notice that after the time attack mode, you're going back to Corneria. Right, so it's kind of cycling right now between the 3 different levels here. And every time you load the level, it'll come up with its own level music. So for the first one, I have this awesome orchestral theme for Corneria. For survival mode, I have like this boss battle music, and then the time attack mode is this YouTube track that I got. So as we load the different levels, you'll see that the music changes as well. And I've also worked on a new levels, on a new little sequence for the clear stage. So you'll see, I'm going to stop talking because there's going to be music here, but you'll see as we're clearing the levels, you'll have like the camera rotate around. I'm trying to emulate kind of what happens when you clear the level in a Star Fox game. You know, kind of the camera pans around the ship, and then it gives you a little message with a different track, and then it loads the next level. So that's kind of the idea here. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the levels, and I'm going to cycle, and you're going to see how I'm going from level to level here. So I'm going to be quiet for a second, and I'll let you guys see what I'm talking about. Alright, so you saw the basic idea here of how the sequence plays when you obviously clear the level, and then it just kind of loads the next level here, all driven by this data table. So you can create as many levels as you want, as long as you fill this table here, what's the next level, and the music is going to be super easy to make those changes later on. So no need to fidget with code inside the player blueprint. A couple of things in addition that I wanted to show. Let me just actually kill the music so I can talk. So 1 second here. It's gonna be somewhere here. Yep. So I'm gonna take out the level music for now, just so I can actually speak while I'm recording here. So a couple more things I wanted to show. Actually, let's take out of the track here. Just freeform. So now I have improved menus as well. So when I'm hitting the pause menu, I've added new options. So before it was just the difficulty. Now, as you can see, there's more options here. You can invert the pitch, which I think is very important. There's camera lag, and you can enable or disable the camera lag. You can enable or disable the shield regeneration. Right now it's enabled, right? So after X amount of seconds, it'll recharge your shield. You can disable that if you want. And aim stabilization, which is something that just basically helps you when you're on the track and you're shooting. It basically makes the rotation of the ship slow down. It basically helps you stay on a target. That's all of this is on by default, but you can actually change that as well. And another cool thing is now for the save game, I'm using that level screenshot. So I changed the interface here. Before it was just text. So now you can see we only have one save space here, Corneria, and you'll see that we have a nice little screenshot here of the level, and we have the name, lives, points, and bombs. So if I were to clear the stage, I'm gonna clear the stage real quick and go to the next one. I'm gonna save the game on the next one, so you can see it just uses the screenshot that you have assigned for that level. So then when you look at save games, you actually have a little screenshot of the level. It's pretty nifty. It's not automatic, you have to provide the screenshot, but it's just a nice little feature. So if I go ahead and save the game here, it says game save, and then if I go back, you can see now that I have a little background image here on survival mode. I'm gonna go back and clear this again so you can see the third screenshot real quick. And obviously the enemies are in this. I'm doing this as they're chasing you around and shooting at you. But obviously this would be triggered at the end of the level. So you don't have to obviously see what you're seeing here. So if I go here, save game, and I click on empty, and I go back, then you can see that you have, whoops, it saved it here, and I forgot about that. So basically, if you successfully clear the level, it'll actually save on the last save slot that you used, which is why you have 2 time attack modes here. That's an automatic thing, but regardless, you get the idea here. I'm gonna go back to Corneria. And the last thing I wanted to show, which I think is really cool, is I've added some movement to the pickups, right? So right now, when the enemies die, you have the option of having the pickup spawn, right? And you can give it a percentage spawning rate. And I've showed this in a previous video, right? So if I go here to this random enemy, right now it's just basically not doing anything. If I go down to pickup, I have options to spawn pickup on death, what is the pickup type, and whether you want a percentage, so you want it only to spawn every 25% of the time. Then you have methods like specific, random, or smart. But now I have 2 different options, which is move to the player when you're in all range mode, that's what that means, or move to the player where you're on the track. And if I just deselect this and I spawn it, here's what's gonna happen. I click play, and I'm just gonna kill this guy, and it's gonna spawn a shield pickup, right? And it's gonna spawn it exactly where the enemy died. That's exactly what you want, right? However, what happens if you are on a track, like in this case here, and you have an enemy that is outside of the bounds of the level, right? Because enemies are moving around, and this is a problem that I've had for a while that I had to figure out exactly how to fix. So now my fix is simple. If I have this enemy here, I'm gonna make it spawn a pickup, but I'm going to have the pickup actually move towards the player. And in this case, I'm just gonna leave both selected here. So instead of, I'm gonna deselect this real quick. So instead of having it just remain outside of the bounds, it's going to come towards the player, and that fixes the problem that you have random pickups spawning outside of the bounds and the player can't get to them. So if I just click play here, I'm gonna try to kill this guy real quick. You can see it spawns a shield, but I can't get to the shield. So this is pretty much useless, right? As I'm trying really hard to get to it, I can't. And that's really the big problem here. So if I say no, look, I'm going to go ahead and allow it to move towards the player, then next time this is what happens. Kill it, and then you can see that the pickup is actually coming towards the player, and it kind of stops there because actually just kind of bounced off all over the place. So there's two different methods. One is always going to hit the player, which is kind of don't really like that method as much. Or this one that just moves towards the player a certain distance, and you can see here it just moved, and I can actually pick it up. The other one, which is here, move mode, it just always reach the player, and it's just going to basically, it's like a homing missile. It basically will get to the player immediately in X amount of seconds. I think I made it 5 seconds, no matter how far the player is. So let me just try this one here. So you can choose which method you prefer. You can see that one immediately came towards the player. So two different methods of moving the pickup, and as you can see, there's two options. So you don't have it. You don't have you don't have to make the pickup follow the player when you're in all range mode. You can only do it for track, right? So you could have it as when you're in a track, like in most Star Fox games and like Panzer Dragoon, you could have the pickup either go a certain distance towards the player, which is my preferred one, or always hit the player. And when they're in all range mode, you can deselect this and have it just spawn exactly where the enemy is. And that way the pickups are always going to be available to the player up to a certain degree. So that kind of goes around the issue of random enemies outside of range spawning pickups, right? Because that just feels unfair. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Again, this is all just polished, right? As I'm testing the level over and over, I'm finding all these little things that you don't really think about, right? Like yesterday, I was like, okay, well, I just spawned a bunch of pickups outside of the range, and you can't really get to them. So it's just little things like that you just keep having to iterate, and you just have to fix as you go along. So hope you like it. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.